spire.
You're driving down the road and it's like this. What is that?
I was like, oh, I didn't see a sign. And he's like, oh, no. A lot of people make that error.
We went counterclockwise.
Yes.
So the first thing I learned is...
All right, today we are doing the companion video to your Jonathan Jaunt.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Jonathan Jaunting, check me out. I was jaunting.
I'm going to try that sometime.
There you go. Give it a shot.
All right, so this is going to be a review of, what is it? The National Museum of the Marine Corps, right?
Yes.
That is located right off of I-95 in technically Triangle, Virginia, but it's over by Quantico, if you're familiar with that.
Right.
And you can actually see it from the highway. You see that spire.
You're driving down the road and it's like this. What is that? Wow, it's a chapel. No, it's the Marine Corps.
So you know that's your exit.
There
right?
you go. Take that exit.
And it's not far off the exit, and you make your way there. We'll talk about all the logistics at the end. And it's free. So we always love free, right?
Can't argue with a free. And I will say that if you are in the service or have served, or if you have somebody who's serving, or just enjoy military information, this is a site for you to stop at.
I will say, and I used to be a tour director, and I was a licensed tour guide in Washington, D.C. in the area. I had not been to this location, oddly enough. I had been onto Quantico with a private group, and gotten to see their sort of mini exhibit there. But I had never been to this location and been wanting to go. It was by far the best, and I know I'm giving away a lot, but hopefully this will help you stay tuned through this video. The best military-related museum in the area for certain.
I would almost say, and we visited a lot of museums, it's pretty close to the best museum that we went to.
Just because I love the way it integrated history.
Yes.
It's not only talking about the history of the Marine Corps, but also the various time periods. Because, spoiler, the Marine Corps is the oldest sort of branch or sub-branch, because I guess it's part of the Navy technically, right? In existence. Founded on your birthday.
Oh, yes.
Way back before you were
Way
born.
back before I was born.
In 1775. So even before the Declaration of Independence, folks.
Let's take a quick break.
Yep.
Visit our websites. Christmas is coming up. And you might be able to find something there. And also we have an announcement. We are only posting on Fridays now. But that doesn't mean we won't be doing special things, and you might catch us on a Saturday or some other day.
And all of those links in our announcements, if you want to keep up to date,
absolutely,
can always be found at twobearstrekking.com.
There you go.
I'm going to take the opportunity to say, you know what I like to say, hit that thumbs up.
There you go.
Like the video, because it helps more people see it in our channel to continue to
and ring that bell.
Ooh, ring the bell. Ring my bell. No, they don't like us singing.
No, don't sing. Don't sing.
And go ahead and subscribe.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, jumping back in. Do we want to tell the folks how we did this?
Yes.
Backwards?
Let's do that. Okay, so you go in, and I thought from the way it was designed that the museum, it was kind of like a small museum, because you went in and this beautiful atrium, absolutely stunning, and beautiful military presentation around, words along the walls. It was really well done. Oh, even more important.
And a giant gift shop.
I
stole your thunder.
You stole my thunder, man. Yes, it did have a giant. It had a marine kind size of, yes. And then we decided that we were going to visit the different parts of the museum.
Yeah, so it's circular. There are two theaters.
There are two theaters.
One with a movie you have to pay for, and I guess that's where we were drawn to first, and we decided, we have to pay.
Right.
You know, we know a lot of the background and information, and so we're going to skip that, and that's why we ended up starting there.
Right.
But that was actually the end, because it goes in timeline.
It goes in like chronological order.
Right.
Clockwise. Okay, so we went counterclockwise.
Yes.
So the first thing I learned is there are Marines in space. And I was going,
What?
what? So how are you going to start this out this way? That's when we learned we were going backwards.
Right.
Yes. But
And
there
then-
are Marines in space. If you didn't know, there you go.
And on the inner wall, so the outer wall has galleries based on time periods. I will say the most two recent time periods, I think, were 1976 and later were closed. I guess they're doing some updates, perhaps. You can let us know if you go more recently or you know what's going on. But the inner wall has a timeline just written on the wall in various events during that. So you can enjoy that in two different ways, I guess.
Absolutely.
But we continue to go backwards.
Yes, we went backwards. Now, I'm going to say that within each segment of time, it was extremely well done. Extremely well done. They really did theme it towards that time period. And you felt like what you were engaging in was thematic and well presented.
Yeah, so these galleries are sectioned off, and sometimes they will have they will have trees, you know, so the environmental landscape, for example, it may be Korea or Vietnam.
The weather, it might be cold if you're going into a section.
Absolutely.
You know, they have dioramas, they have, figurines, it's just really...
Videos, interactives. So just very engaging.
Very engaging.
And you could stand there and read and read and read if you wanted, or just enjoy more visual, audio, and even tactile, because you're feeling the weather, like you said.
Right, absolutely. And I liked it because each section, as I said, really does reflect. So as we got further into the backwards counterclockwise experience, we started to get to the beginning of the Marines, and the feel was totally different than the current or the Vietnam or Korea experiences.
So I was almost glad that we started out with the more sort of heavier. Yeah, that's the perfect word. Because those sections, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, those sections are, even World War One, are very heavy. And they do very much focus on the history and the battles that were specific to the Marines. But it does help give you a good idea, because the Marines are typically the first deployed, right? Into a situation. So it does give you a good idea of the time period.
Well, and I mean, even if you don't, you're saddened by the concept of war, that is a reality. And it was very moving to see it so well depicted.
Well, and
respectfully.
Exactly. And you can see the values, the core values of the Marines really captured in each of those galleries and exhibit areas.
Yes.
You can see the honor and the courage and the commitment. And once a Marine, always a Marine. Right. So I found it to be and then we ended up watching the free little film at the very end. And
the seats are really comfortable in that theater.
It was. We almost fell asleep.
I know.
Like, should we just stay again?
Should we watch it again?
Because we were tired after doing that museum. But so, what do you think? How do you rate this museum, and would you recommend it?
Well,
to other folks?
we're gonna tell you something that you need to stay tuned for with regards to parking in RVs.
So don't go away.
Don't go away. But would I recommend this? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I learned a lot. I was moved. It caused me to think about my own life and choices that I've made, and it was a very valuable experience. I enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah, I would give this an A- in my mind, and absolutely 100% recommend it. On the upper level, there is also an art gallery. I believe maybe a little place to eat, a couple of other little things. So, for the logistics.
Okay, we always want to tell you, Is it RV friendly?
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that.
Yes. So we knew, there was plenty of space. You could park RVs there. Didn't logistically know, and usually these places are well signed.
Well signed. And we thought for the military it'd be really well signed.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, goodness.
So we were confident coming in the main entrance there, and there were a lot of signs, but we were watching closely, and there's a buses only sign or a buses sign pointing straight ahead. And we're looking for RV signs, and then immediately after that sign, there's visitor parking sign points to the left.
Yes, that's where you need to go to the museum.
So we entered the parking lot there, and we didn't see any specific RV parking. So we saw another RV who had pulled into a space, a small one. So they were taking a single
like
space.
a van.
And so we just parked and
we tried to park back, further
Yeah.
away so give plenty of room for cars.
yeah, there was space for us. And the security came by after about 10 minutes because I think
I don't know if he was in 10 minutes. Those guys, they were watching.
And said, "Oh, you need to go straight back through the traffic circle, and there's angled RV spaces back there." And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see a sign." And he's like, "Oh, no, a lot of people make that error, but because the sign for RVs pointing the direction for RVs is further.
It's past the museum sign going this way.
Yes. So ignore the signs telling you to pull into the lot on the left. Continue straight to the traffic circle.
Go through the circle.
And you'll see the RV and bus sign finally pointing straight ahead. You'll go straight ahead through that circle and continue and see the
turn
angled.
left. I mean, I'll show all the directions here. And then there's the angled RV parking.
Yeah, and it's just as close to the museum because of
the way they designed it.
The way they designed it. But that is then the secure entrance for like trucks and other vehicles going around the back of the museum. So that was the only hiccup here. So
only hiccup, and it was a small hiccup, but you need to know about it.
Yeah. And then heading back out, you can only get on 95 certain ways, so you can follow either signs because there are 2 ways to exit. And there are a couple of other overlooks and other things to see where if you're in a smaller rig, you can get into those lots as well.
Right.
On the way out. All right, hopefully you enjoyed this video.
Absolutely. And for all those in the military out there, again, I say thank you for your service, for your commitment. Thank you.
Thank you. And keep on trekking.
Keep on trekking.